What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Big Five Field channel, where we speak the truth, we're honest, and we give our takes on professional wrestling. It is Wednesday night, April 15th, 2026, with this being your AEW Dynamite review. As it was announced Sunday night, tonight, Darby Allin was going to be challenging MJF for the World Heavyweight Championship in his hometown of Seattle, Washington. And the stars were aligning for Darby Allin to win the AEW World Championship. I don't think it should have happened. I don't like the way they did it. I actually hate it. I hated everything about it. I don't hate that Darby Allin won the world title. It was gonna happen at some point. Do I think it happened? Do I think it happened too late? Yes. Yes, I do. The time to capitalize on it was last year, but he went to go climb Mount Everest, which, good for him. That is a lifetime achievement, and I'm happy for him about that. But as far as tonight goes, the stars were aligning for Darby Allin to win this championship. They were in Seattle, Washington tonight. The arena they were in was 10 miles from where Darby Allin first started training in Everett, Washington. So you got that. You got the fact that you could get a storyline with this and I guess get away with it, but I hate everything they did. The way they booked it. They had MJF kick out of the one-winged angel at Dynasty, one of the most protected finishers in all of professional wrestling. And tonight, with this main event, all we got was a couple dick kicks, 4 coffin drops, a headlock takeover, and that was it. The way MJF dropped the AEW World Championship was him getting squashed. Squashed like a bug. And again, my issue is not Darby Allin winning the AEW World Championship. My issue is the way they went about this. The way they went about it so abruptly. It was like Darby Allin, they didn't make it a proper storyline. And this would have been a fantastic proper storyline to have fans ready for the moment for Darby Allin to finally win the World Championship. It felt like Darby could have had a storyline of finishing the story very, very similar to Cody Rhodes 2 years ago in WWE. And they played that shit out for over a year. And for Darby Allin, they could have done that too with AEW. But they did it in one night. And I can't help it, ladies and gentlemen. I might get heat. I might get flack for this. I don't care. I cannot help but think the only reason AEW did what they did tonight was because they wanted to get attention during WrestleMania week. I can't help but think otherwise. That is really the main reason why I think Tony Khan did what he did tonight. To get people talking, to get the conversation going, and to get attention away from WrestleMania. Which I don't fucking understand. Because if he's paying attention, WrestleMania, the entire build of it has been ass. It's been garbage. A lot of people, not just myself, are saying this is one of the least hyped WrestleManias ever. Ever. So why is Tony going out there and being counterproductive? Taking a world championship off a guy that was on a epic run as AEW world champion. MJF was going to have another phenomenal reign, just like he did the first one. The only way they will make me happy with this is if MJF beats Darby Allin in his home state of New York and wins back the AEW World Championship at Double or Nothing. Winning that championship back at New York is the way to go. You got to think of the main event of Allin. I don't think Will Ospreay versus Darby Allin is the way to go. I think Will Ospreay challenging MJF is the clear main event for Allin this year. And we will talk about that when we get to the Will Ospreay segment tonight. Because there was a lot to take away from that. And a theory that I have. Congratulations to Darby Allin, though. Seriously. I'm happy for Darby. He has worked his butt off. He's an AEW original. People first saw this guy and couldn't take him seriously. The guy put his body on the line night after night after night for AEW. And the guy went to go climb Mount Everest and placed the AEW flag on top of Mount Everest. After he did that, he was absolutely going to win the AEW World Championship. It just, number one, right now doesn't feel like the time. Right now doesn't feel like the time to take the world title off of Darby Allin, of MJF. They did it anyway. It felt too late for Darby Allin to win the world championship. The perfect situation. In a perfect world, Darby Allin would have won the world title last year in the main event of Allin, Texas, against Jon Moxley, and not Adam Page. But we got what we got, and we got Adam Page being the one to beat Jon Moxley. And number three, I just can't help but think that AEW decided to do this because they wanted attention away from WrestleMania. They wanted to get the attention on themselves during WrestleMania week. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And the way the match was booked, it was fucking terrible. It was a joke. A complete joke from AEW. The rest of the show tonight, I felt like was pretty boring. It felt like watching Raw on Monday. A very, very boring show. The first half hour was all about the AEW World Championship. We could pretty much talk about how TV is going to be playing out in the next couple weeks. So we might as well get started with this. We already have a couple videos out this week. We have the Monday Night Raw review from Monday. We have Night 1 WrestleMania predictions. Both of those podcasts are going to be up at the end of this podcast. It'll appear in the last 20 seconds. All you gotta do is click on it, and it'll take you right to the podcast. But of course, don't do that until you've watched the entirety of this AEW Dynamite review. And honestly, outside of MJF losing the AEW World Championship to Darby Allin, there is nothing worthy of going back and watching on this show. So, the show started with MJF pulling up to the arena, his fancy suit, the AEW World Championship. He's approached by Renee Paquette, talking about him retaining the AEW World Championship. And he bragged about how he kicked out the one-winged angel with ease. No one's been able to ever do that. And then he was approached by Don Callis, who congratulated him on beating Kenny Omega, retaining the AEW World Championship. Watching that match brought a smile to Don Callis' face. So they're happy. They're having a great conversation. And then Don Callis brings up, I'm sorry about the Andrade thing. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, Andrade wasn't able to beat Darby Allin. He's like, wait. You're lying about this, right? Don was like, well, did you watch the match? And MJF was like, no, I was too busy getting ready for a World Championship main event. Your guy dropped the ball. And I want you to let Andrade know that he's never going to be World Championship material in AEW, because in every big time match, he drops the ball. That is all he does. So then Renee screams for MJF and says, with Darby being the new number one contender tonight, he is cashing in he wants to get his match tonight in his hometown of Seattle, Washington. So MJF, absolutely furious. Darby Allin's music hits, because it feels like the match is going to happen now. MJF cuts a promo, though, how ridiculous this is. Then cutting a promo about Darby Allin being like, Darby, you are very talented. You have a lot of potential. You are a AEW original. But when it comes to me and this World Championship, you're not ready. So me not wanting this match right now because I'm hurt, it benefits you. And Darby snatches the mic from him, and before he even talks, he starts crying. Darby starts crying, and he talks about why he deserves to be AEW World Champion, why he's ready to be AEW World Champion. And he talked about sacrificing his body, the scars he'll have for the rest of his life, the bumps, the bruises, climbing Mount Everest and planting it on top of Mount Everest, the flag, the AEW flag, hugging the AEW flag, why he's ready for this. And he says, if I'm not ready tonight, I'm never going to be ready. And then Bryan Danielson gets up on commentary. He says that Tony Khan, he's gotten a word from Tony Khan. They do it all the time with these announcers. Oh, wait a second. I've got an official statement from Tony Khan. All the time. So Bryan Danielson gets up with a microphone. And he says Tony Khan agrees with MJF that MJF should have time to get ready and defend the AEW World Championship. And that means that tonight, in the main event of Dynamite, it is going to be MJF defending the AEW World Championship against Darby Allin. And this company literally rolled out the red carpet for Darby Allin tonight in his hometown. They gave him time on the microphone. He cut a very, very emotional promo as to why he's ready to be the top guy in AEW. He got the video package of his history with MJF. He got a motivational speech from Sting before the match. When that happened, like, they just gave away the result. Like, we knew this was going to happen. I've known since they announced this match, there was no way Darby Allin was going to lose this match to MJF tonight. And then Sting gives him the speech of, it's not showtime, it's your time. So that was the opening to Dynamite tonight. And then, you remember how I said the first half hour was basically about the AEW World Championship? Well, our first match was Tommaso Ciampa against Desmond Xavier from the Rascals. Tommaso Ciampa wins in about 11 minutes. And he grabs on the microphone and he says, when I signed a contract and became All Elite, I wanted to be where the best wrestle. And I want to take all the gold as a part of it. And when I say all the gold, I mean the big one too. I want the AEW World Championship. So Max, Darby, whichever one of you walks out of the winner tonight, you're going to have to look over your shoulder because I'm coming. So when we get to the main event, we will display what is probably going to happen on TV in the next couple weeks. So that was the opening match. That was the first half hour of Dynamite. Claudio challenging Kevin Knight for the TNT Championship. Solid match. Good stuff overall. Kevin Knight retained with a UFO splash. And he talked about how he is also going after the AEW World Championship. And he is happy and thrilled to be TNT champion. But he understands the possible anger and frustration that his challenger, Speedball Mike Bailey, is possibly going through right now. And he promises Speedball, whenever you're ready, I am willing to go toe-to-toe with you for the TNT Championship and make the best person win. So eventually, I could see a Jet Speed split up very soon. And I'd like to see Kevin Knight work as a heel. I think that could be fascinating. Because to me, Speedball doesn't fit right to be a heel. But people might want to cheer for Kevin Knight over Speedball. It's a very tough call, but I can absolutely see them splitting up Jet Speed in the near future and doing a feud with Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight. I can absolutely see that happening. So then we had the top of the second hour with Chris Jericho. He was in the ring with Renee. He said, despite losing, AEW Dynasty was one of my favorite matches I've ever had in a very long time. With a great performance, although I came up short. An outstanding crowd in Vancouver. And he says the reason I lost was because I was outnumbered 3-1. So then Ricochet and the Demand came out, and they threatened to beat Jericho if he didn't leave. And Jericho mocked him by calling him stupid and bald. And he didn't reference him by Ricochet. He referenced him by bald. and Ricochet set Jericho up because Ricochet was going to go down to the ring to attack Jericho. Chris and Ricochet then started brawling. Ricochet called for the Gates of Agony. 3-on-1 breakdown. They all held up the demand symbols. I said it last week. Once they made that match official at Dynasty, I kind of figured Ricochet was going to win because this feud was not just going to end at Dynasty. This feud was going to continue past, and I was right. So now I guess the next step of the feud is Jericho finding tag team partners, which I don't know how really that's going to go, but I feel like we're definitely going to get Jericho versus Ricochet. Again, possibly on an upcoming episode of Dynamite. Will Ospreay, he wrestled Hechicero tonight of the Don Callis family, and he beat Hechicero. Very good match, very good technical wrestling match, and he was laid out afterwards by his old United Empire partner, Mark Davis. So it seems like they'll be having a match later in the future, probably in the coming weeks on Dynamite. But something very, very intriguing happened with Will Ospreay tonight, and they played footage from backstage at Dynasty with both Ospreay and Kenny Omega in the trainer's room, getting emotional with each other. Both of them doubting that they could win the big one. Both of them doubting that they will ever be the best in this company. Kenny saying, "You've barely gotten a crack at it. You have the capability of what it takes to be the best mountain machine. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to hold up. You have to hold down the fort here. And you can do it, Will. You can be that guy. And you can win the AEW World Championship. You can be at the top of the mountain." And Will said the same exact thing to Kenny Omega. You could still be at the top of the mountain. Don't hang your head down, mate. You're still the best bout machine. You are still the damn cleaner. And Kenny Omega will be the face of AEW once again in no time. So that gave me a theory. Today, AEW announced Forbidden Door, June 28th in San Jose, California, at the SAP Center where the San Jose Sharks play. It's a hockey arena. We got Forbidden Door coming up June 28th. Allin is August 30th at Wembley Stadium. I think not the main event. I think the finals, okay? The finals of the Owen Hart Cup tournament is going to be Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega. A lot of people saying that match needs to happen for Wembley. They can make a strong case. I don't think it's going to happen at Wembley. I think they're going to run it back at Forbidden Door like they did, 3 years ago? They wrestled each other and nearly had a 6-star match at Forbidden Door. I think they're going to run it back at Forbidden Door 3 years later, and this time in the Owen Hart Cup finals. So my early prediction for the finals of the Owen Hart tournament is Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega. I think this started planting the seeds of that happening, and that's where I think they're going with this. I think the finals of the Owen this year are going to be Ospreay and Kenny Omega. We then got a segment setting up Tekla versus Alex Windsor tomorrow night on Collision. Look, it wasn't bad. It was an okay segment. Like, there was nothing really to hate on it. My only issue, again, is the lack of challengers for Tekla. Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor are a tag team. We have nothing. We have nothing else for Tekla to work with. That we have to go to the tag teams. We have to go to Jamie Hayter. We have to go to Alex Windsor. Alex Windsor, I feel like, just got there. And she's already challenging for the World Championship. They haven't even pushed her like that. It just feels like right now the options to challenge Tekla for that Women's Championship, very weak. Very, very weak in my opinion. So, I mean, the segment was okay. There's nothing to hate on it. It's just weak challengers for Tekla. Camille versus Willow. Willow won with a backslide. Seems like Hikaru Shida Willow has rubbed Hikaru Shida the wrong way. Shida's trying to push this new tag team with Chris Statlander, but Chris Statlander wants to have no part of it. So, I guess that'll be a storyline. And then we go backstage. Renee is about to interview Darby Allin. You're moments away from the biggest match of your career. And who walks up to him but Sting? And I mean, when that happened, it was like, GG's MJF. GG's. There is no way you're winning, bro. So, Sting gave him the speech. Darby Allin said it's showtime. Sting said, no. It's your time, Darby. It is your time. Go get him, kid. So it was time. Darby and MJF. The match started. And MJF went to pull out the ring immediately. The referee ducked. And MJF low blowed Darby Allin. He then went for something, but then the ref didn't look again. Aubrey Edwards was the ref twice. 2 low blows, and the ref didn't see either of them. Oh my gosh. That's another thing I hated about this match. Referee looking fucking incompetent and stupid. So MJF, he got low blowed. Then he got hit with 4 coffin drops on 4 sides of the ring. And then he finally, Darby, got his revenge from 4.5 years ago at Full Gear 2021 by pinning MJF with a shitty looking headlock takeover. And Darby Allin is the new AEW World Champion. We've already talked about this. We talked about it at the beginning. All the baby faces come out and celebrate with Darby. They hold him up. Sting comes out. Sting gives up a big hug. Confetti goes off. I've already told you guys how I thought about this. I hate everything about it. The only thing I don't hate is Darby being the champion. I don't care about Darby being the champion. That's fine. He was going to be champion eventually. What I care about is how they did it. I hate how they went about it. I hate how they booked the match. I hate how rushed this is. I hate that we could have told a proper story of Darby going after the title for weeks. They could have done that whenever. And they did it in one night because it is WrestleMania week and we want to take buzz away from WWE and WrestleMania. And that's shitty. And I hate that. So that's my thoughts. That's my perspective on all this. I don't hate that Darby won the world title, but I hate everything else involving in it. And if you don't like it, too fucking bad. It's my opinion. So that is your Dynamite review. pretty boring show. And then the main event, not a fan, man. Not a fan. But, alright, guys, I am going to get out of here. Subscribe, comment down below, hit the like button if you like what you heard from me. Follow me on Twitter and TikTok, Conlon_Joseph. Busy weekend, man. The biggest weekend for professional wrestling the entire year. WrestleMania weekend. It is going to be wild, man. It's going to be a wild weekend. I don't know how bad WrestleMania is going to... I would be shocked. I would be shocked if overall this turns out to be a good WrestleMania. But we'll see. Tomorrow night, we're going to talk Night 2 WrestleMania predictions right here on the Big Fight Fuel channel. So, alright guys, have a good night, stay safe, and as always, stay classy, and I'm out. Peace!